Hi, this is Majin. Here's my comic pull list for November 22nd, 2017. Before we go into this, we have very good news. The editor-in-chief at Marvel, Axel Alonso, has either stepped down or was fired, or whatever you want to call it. And CB Cebulski, I think I'm pronouncing his name correct, is the new guy who's in charge. Now, CB's actually he's an older guy at Marvel, meaning he's got a lot of tenure there. He was an editor, then he moved into a talent scout position, and then he went overseas to I believe Japan and China, and he was basically marketing Marvel, basically trying to put Marvel characters, the comics, into various things. So, he's had his hands in a lot of things, and if anything, this has to be a good thing for Marvel, because the way the direction they were going, it was just a matter of time before there'd be only the parents reading the books, and now maybe they have a chance of turning things around. Also, my other comment about Marvel was I'm very disappointed because if I remember correctly, Axel Alonso and those guys said, all right, we understand, you have event fatigue, no more events, we're going to give you a couple years, so chill out. And then what do we have? Some Infinity event. And it's I know some people are, splitting hairs and saying, well, it's not really an event book where you have to buy a specific book. It's just a crossover. And, it's an event, let's be honest, right? And it's a big event because it's dealing with the Infinity Stones and it's also dealing probably with the movie tie-in. Then on top of that, Marvel's doing end credit scenes for comic books, which is ridiculous. It's the fact that they had to say they are doing that is just, to me, just reeks of desperation. Because, while I understand the spirit of it is they're putting a page or two at the very end of certain books so you can get a, wow, look at this, I'm on the inside, and then maybe you'll buy all these extra books. But I'm it's if this was in the 70s, 80s, I would say this would be great because it'd be very transparent. They throw it in the middle of the book, in the middle of the story, kind of try to make it organic, and then it became a hide and seek game where you had to go look for the stuff, and a treasure hunt, which I thought to me that's more clever. It also gets the internet talking because it would be hey, what's this about? And people would start talking about it. Now it's just you just go to the end and it's look at that, and then you just put the book down. So it's it's just another sigh. It's I'm still in my Marvel ban. There's no way they're going to anybody can turn the ship around anytime soon because how far in advance books are running. But I just hope at some point things get fixed. But I probably still won't buy Marvel. They've left a bad taste, and I just don't want to deal with them anymore. At least in terms of money. All right. We have some books. Justice League 19. Return of Prometheus. Now, this book is a joke in a way because when Prometheus first appeared, he almost beat the Justice League. We're talking Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. It was heavy hitters. And this is Justice League light. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of wannabes. Heck, Batman's not even really in it. Granted, you can say Lobo is a heavyweight, but he's a one-trick pony too. And it's if Prometheus can't beat this team, it's what good is he as a supervillain? He's a joke, considering who he almost took out. Now, one of my complaints about this book is the horrendous art. Now, sometimes it's okay. You don't really notice there's a disturbance in the force. But then you get these faces, and I'm just like going, my God. I know there's two of them that just stood out when I was reading it, I should say. The first is Vixen, and of course I can't find the page with Vixen. I mean that is like, that's a very bad face. Then afterwards you get this horrible face of Black Canary, like that. It's like Black Canary's supposed to be sexy and, you know, beautiful, and I'm just like, what trailer park did she come out of? Because that's just like, holy Christ. Not impressed. Not impressed at all. I'm not impressed at the swerve thing at the end. It's just, I'm very disappointed. Demon, Hell is Earth. I was looking forward to reading Demon. I thought the cover was great. It really caught my attention when I first saw the ad for it. I got excited, and then I quickly lost interest. Basically, when I first read Demon, the Demon spoke in poetry, and that took a lot of talent to figure out how to write that. And now the Demon just talks like anybody else. And to me, this is just an example of either somebody who doesn't understand the character or a lazy writer. And regardless of what it is, it's not boding a good sign. So I'm bailing after this issue. They're not getting any more. If you really must know what this is about, Jason Blood and the Demon are both at odds still, and somebody's trying to kill them. And they used a nuclear missile to try to do it. So that's the gist of that. And it's just, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Alright. Batman Detective Comics number 969. In this issue here, we get the Tim and Stephanie reunite. What's kind of funny is she's on this path of like, okay, there's something going on. I don't really trust Anarchy, but maybe he's onto something. And then she sees Tim's alive, and she's just like, Anarchy who? What? I don't... what were we talking about? So I thought that part was kind of funny. The second part to this is you have basically the supervillains and the police that are like going, wait a second, before there was a Batman, and now there's like an army strike force of Batmen, and they're taking out all of crime. And of course, the police are like, we can't have that happen in Gotham because, Gotham has a police department, even though with the police department, crime just goes through the roof, and with little or no involvement of Batman. But the minute there's a strike force in there and the streets are getting safer, yeah, we can't have that. That's just a danger. Who gives these characters the right to do it? And I always find that kind of funny, that mentality. Well, you also have some supervillains who are going, hey, we need to band together. We have a special group that's gonna, if you buy into us, our protection racket, we'll save you guys and stop the Bat family. And you know how well that goes. So I thought that part was good. Detective has been a hit and miss book for me. In this case, I wouldn't say it's a solid, like, wow, my God read. Especially when I saw the ending, and I'm like going, why do we have to fight these guys again? It's, it'd be like, like Spider-Man, he fights, let's say the Vulture, and then, there's some issues. I mean, granted, there's a lot of issues in between, but there's tiny story arcs, and then it's like, okay, we go back to the Vulture again, and it's like, let's just give them something else to fight. But oh well, it is what it is. And finally, the Doomsday Clock. Now, I thought this had a good start in the sense that the art was fantastic, the writing was good. And it's basically the events that took place after at the end of the Watchmen comic. The world is just in complete turmoil. There's a war that's basically breaking out, and the one thing that they did was they they mirrored what's going on in today's environment with the president and North Korea. Now, the North Korea part, it's organically makes sense in the story, but with the president part, no matter what your political feelings are, I kind of think that maybe you should have distanced yourself from that and made it its own unique story, because I don't know, with the type of turmoil the world is in, I don't know if that necessarily makes sense, like he's golfing type thing. And that was my thing, is like, I wish they'd put a more maybe aggressive president that just fed into the war a little bit more, and that one would have made a little bit more sense to the world, especially when there's talking about mass evacuations of cities, and it doesn't quite make, it kind of doesn't fit what's going on with what the president's doing. But in this case here, we have Rorschach, who's going and he's recruiting some people, and he's taking them to meet his current partner, which I don't want to ruin that for those of you who haven't read it yet. But it was a surprise, and just by saying it's a surprise, and I don't want to ruin it, I realize it really cuts down the number of people it could be. It's not like it's Batman type thing. But overall, I thought the story was good. I thought that it was a great start, and I'm actually looking forward to reading this. I know that I was really down on the Watchmen miniseries a few years ago, but this one to me seems like they thought things out a little bit more clearly. And while yes, you can argue it's a cash cow because it's an event on top of an event, but it's not like this multi-pronged, multiple issues, miniseries that conveniently came around where DC needed to pump up sales. So I don't know. This one seems alright. Anyways, that's some reviews for you. Let me know what you guys picked up, what you guys are looking forward to reading the most. Let me know what you guys think about Axel and his reign of terror is finally over. And we'll have more stuff later. Like, share, and until next time.